Frederick Dard once aptly said, "I do not call Yquem a wine because there are an infinite number of wines as such, but Yquem is unique. I prefer the word nectar, the drink of the gods." While I'll do my best to explain what makes Yquem special, even the most eloquent explanation does not do it justice. You simply have to experience it. If you haven't tried it yet, this should absolutely be on your bucket list. Yquem has been highly acclaimed for centuries. Even Thomas Jefferson, with his world-class palate, had several cases of it in his cellar. In 1855, Yquem was so far ahead of its peers that it was awarded a classification all of its own. While some of the other Sauternes producers, especially those discussed in this video, make some outstanding world-class expressions of Sauternes, there's just no substitute for Yquem. Yquem has more of everything. It's a truly elite world-class wine that's absolutely in a category all of its own. Unbelievably, Yquem ages so well that it's even enjoyable in many instances after 100 years. While it's always a treat to taste Yquem, and it's extremely enjoyable even in its youth, Yquem truly distinguishes itself from its peers and becomes truly elite and life-changing with decades of age on it, preferably 30 or 40 years or more. For the first 25 years or so, flavors and aromas tend to be dominated by tropical fruit and honey. After about 25 years or so, the tropical fruit flavors begin to fade, and flavors and aromas such as creme brulee, caramel, and spice tend to take over. Some of my favorite older vintages of Yquem include 1967, 1975, and 1988, 89, and 90. In the 2000s, it seems like the odd years have been very good for Yquem. 2001 is a legendary vintage and one of the very best vintages of Yquem ever produced. Standout vintages in the 2000s also include 2003, 5, 7, 9, 11, 15, and 17. And more recently, 2021 and 2022 are potentially epic vintages as well. Some compare those vintages favorably with the iconic 2001 vintage. In my experience, I found that Yquem is a wine that is best shared with a larger group of 8 to 10 people or so. It's such a rich, sweet, concentrated wine that you don't really need that much of it to get the full experience. And by each contributing a pro rata share, you're oftentimes able to enjoy some epic vintages of Yquem for as little as $50 to $60 per person. My group did this a few years ago with the 1967 vintage, which many people consider to be one of the top 3 or 4 vintages of Yquem in the 1900s. Just to give you a feel for why I'm so excited about Yquem, and this wine in particular, my tasting note read as follows. This wine was mind-bogglingly complex. Descriptors were too numerous to mention, but included apricot, peach, poached pear, quince, candied ginger, vanilla, cinnamon, praline, mandarin, orange, citron, orange peel, honey, toasted almonds, honeysuckle, blossom, and saffron. On the palate, this wine was simultaneously powerful yet delicate. The ample acidity provided tactile tension and perfectly balanced the sweetness. Just when you think you've experienced this wine at peak intensity, it continues to expand on your palate with unbelievable concentration of perfectly balanced flavors, sugars, and acidity. In France, they say it spreads like a peacock's tail. As you might expect, one of the reasons that Yquem wines are so special is because they have probably the best terroir in Sauternes. They have vineyards that are located at the highest elevation in Sauternes, around 80 meters above sea level. On a 113-hectare estate, about 100 of those hectares are planted to vine. They have around 80% Semillon and 20% Sauvignon Blanc planted in their vineyards. The high elevation is beneficial because it facilitates the dry easterly winds that help to promote development of botrytis and prevent gray rot, and it's also beneficial in terms of drainage. The soils in the vineyard also help to distinguish Yquem from some of the Sauternes produced by other producers. This is so because there's varying soil types that include clay, gravel, and sand over limestone. Some of the fruit from each of these different soil types is included in the final blend for Yquem and helps to create wines of extra complexity. The winemaking process for Yquem is also more elaborate and distinguishes it from a number of the other Sauternes producers. Specifically, following fermentation, they mature Yquem in 100% new French oak for 30 months. This is both a higher percentage of new French oak and much longer barrel maturation than most other Sauternes. Even other high-quality producers typically use no more than 50% new French oak for maturation. Yquem typically isn't released until 4 to 5 years after the vintage.